Crack open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports Page brought to you by, well, I guess we're going to call this Wednesday night basketball, Taco.
You better believe it. We're out tonight for the Magic game, Winter Garden. We're coming your way. Hagen O'Reilly's tonight, starting at 6. And we're going to be giving away the ultimate prize. Somebody's going to win, for them and 3 guests, passes to sit in the suite, the Anheuser-Busch suite, for an upcoming Magic game.
Yeah, that compliments the Mick Ultra. So come on out tonight, pregame, then stick around for the Magic Bulls game, which, Bulldog, I hope will have a better outcome than last night's game at Brooklyn.
Yeah, the inaugural in-season tournament game for the Orlando Magic last night. They go down, and they go down hard to the Brooklyn Nets, 124-104. Spencer Dinwiddie had 29 points for the Nets. The Nets just had their way. The Magic were turning the ball over left and right. 16 turnovers last night, not protecting the ball, not valuing their possessions. You need to value your possessions, okay? And I have a little bone to pick with the Magic strategy last night. Okay, so they acquired old Joe Ingles during the offseason, right? Joe Ingles, he was supposed to be, a shooter who could help them with their three-point shooting. Joe Ingles last night, 4 of 4 from three-point range in the first half, scores 11. He didn't get another shot. You need to feed old Uncle Joe, okay?
Wow.
Feed him.
Dog is fired up this morning.
Passionate in his opinion this morning.
Feed Uncle Joe. Feed the beast when he's hot.
The Magic had the lead at halftime, didn't they?
Yeah, they were playing fine, and then in the fourth quarter they just fell apart. Fell apart in the fourth quarter. What was the? I'm trying to figure out what they were, how they were outscored in the fourth quarter.
Because they didn't feed Joe, Uncle Joe.
Yeah. That's exactly right. There's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow. You guys don't remember Petticoat Junction.
I thought you were going to go off with the last name Ingalls, with Laura Ingalls in the
Little House on the Prairie.
When I was a kid, I used to have a crush on her. Yeah, absolutely.
I would have taken you more as a Nelly devotee.
Oh, no. I hated Nelly. Anyway. All right. Georgia jumps over Ohio State in the college football playoff rankings last night. The latest ones came out. Georgia, of course, blew out Ole Miss over the weekend. Ole Miss was ranked number 13. They took care of Missouri, number 9, the week before that. So Georgia is rounding in the form for a run at a 3rd consecutive national championship. Ohio State dropped to number 2. They switched spots with Georgia. Obviously, they still have 2 top 25 victories over Notre Dame and Penn State. That was enough to keep them ahead of the cheating Michigan Wolverines, who are at number 3. And then Florida State, thankfully, remained number 4. I was worried that Washington might jump over Florida State because Florida State's strength of schedule, not very good. Not that that's their fault, but the ACC and those teams, including Miami. Here's something that Florida State better hope. Florida State better hope Miami doesn't beat Louisville this week, because Louisville's probably the team Florida State's going to play in the ACC championship game. Where's Louisville ranked in the latest rankings?
The 8th?
Yeah, no, they're 10th in the latest college football rankings. You don't want Louisville to lose to Miami and then, God forbid, lose to Kentucky in the last game of the season. And then Louisville slumps into the ACC championship game. I still think there's a chance that if Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game, Alabama's starting to surge right now. They only have 1 loss. If they beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, I still think there's a chance the SEC could get 2 teams in the playoff.
A lot of that's going to hinge on what Washington does, though, right? I mean, they're still perfect, and they've got a pretty solid schedule, dog.
Yeah, well, you figure, all right, so the SEC champion's going to get in. The Big Ten champion's going to get in, whether it's Ohio State or Michigan. If Washington stays unbeaten, they'll get in. But what I'm worried about is if Alabama beats Georgia, then there could be 2 SEC teams in, and maybe they jump over Florida State, whose strength of schedule is not very good. That's what I'm concerned about. All right,
with a loss.
NFL news, Devon Achane returning to practice for the Miami Dolphins. We all remember how exciting he was at the beginning of the season, the rookie running back. So, he injured his knee. Now he's back at practice. Hopefully he can play this weekend. The Buffalo Bills, they're in panic mode. All right. They lose the game on Monday night. They're 5-5. They fire their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, former University of Miami quarterback. Ken Dorsey was the offensive coordinator. He was fired by the Bills yesterday, as if it's his fault that Josh Allen is a turnover machine.
That's
right?
falling on the sword, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden his play calling sucks, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the stats. The Bills' offense is ranked third in the league. The completion percentage of the Bills, 70.3%. They're third in yards per play. It's not Ken Dorsey's fault that Josh Allen is a turnover machine.
Yeah.
Okay? So, by the way, remember earlier in the season when Colorado, Deion Sanders' team, played UCLA in the Rose Bowl, and their locker room got robbed, right? Remember that story?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the police have found out who robbed the locker room.
It was the meddling teens.
No, it was UCLA's recruits that were visiting.
The meddling teens, the high school teens.
Yeah. Looks like UCLA's recruiting some fine student athletes, right?
Hey, how about the UK police making an arrest in the death of Adam Johnson, the hockey player that died after getting slashed in the throat?
Yeah, but who did they arrest? I didn't see who it.
For some reason, it's got to be the guy who nicked him, right? Matt Petgrave. Right? You would think. Why would they not be naming him?
I don't know why they didn't name who they arrested. It was sort of mysterious, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it's some plot. or something.
So they're saying that was intentional, I guess.
Manslaughter. I don't know, dude. It's very very strange.
More to come.
Speaking of hockey, the Lightning got blasted last night, 5-0 at St. Louis.
Lightning not looking very good.
A little shaky to start the season.
They'll be all right.
All right. Dog. Mike, the Bulldog Bianchi, you can find him over on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game, hosting Open Mic. You can read his opinions in the Orlando Sentinel and OrlandoSentinel.com, and you can hear the sound of a grown man barking to take us out of the sports page here on JRR each morning.
Oh!